The secret to writing a perfect resume is over 500 years old, and once you know this secret, it really will make your resume more compelling, memorable, and competitive. So let's get into it. Alright, so you probably know this dude right here as an artist, scientist, and philosopher, but I'm guessing you didn't know that he also wrote the first resume too. Yeah, in 1482, Leonardo da Vinci wrote a letter to the Duke of Milan, asking for a job essentially. In this letter, he summarizes his strengths, which includes some pretty unique stuff, such as building covered chariots and making portable cannons. This wasn't something you did in the 15th century though. Most people were either tilling fields their entire lives or living off peasant labor. Da Vinci wasn't a peasant and he didn't have a castle, so he needed a way to convince richer folks to support him financially. Leo's gotta eat. But Da Vinci didn't just write a long, flowery letter about his proudest achievements. It's a short, functional 11-point list of things he can do. Super handy 15th century engineering skills like training moats and making stones rain from the sky. And you know what is the very last thing he puts in that list? Also, I can paint and sculpt. Also, I can paint and sculpt. This is the guy that did the Mona Lisa. This is why Leonardo da Vinci is the perfect example of a great resume writer. He has a lot of skills, but your overall takeaway when you read this letter is that this is a guy who knows how to solve the Duke's specific engineering problems. 10 out of the 11 points in that letter explain how he can offer an advantage. The last bullet is just a little extra flavor that shows a little of the man behind those skills and highlights Da Vinci's uniqueness as an applicant. And that is the secret to writing a great resume. Don't say, "This is who I am," say, "This is what I can do for you." To be an effective resume writer and to get the job, you need to address their needs, not brag about your own achievements. Let me explain that. Every job opportunity exists for a niche reason. Employers look for new staff with 1 or 2 specific responsibilities in mind. I need someone who can handle X, or I need someone with expertise in Y. The main task of your resume is to explain how you meet that hiring need. It's not about writing a professional brag sheet. This does take a bit of getting used to, especially if you recently graduated. When you apply for college, you learn to present yourself as a well-rounded, multi-skilled candidate. But on the job market, the challenge is really in how you curate your skills and experience. So even if you're Da Vinci, you need to pick a lane. First, you need to get clear on what is on the employer's priority list. And I'm not just talking about specific skills like Python or customer service. No, you need to identify the employer's specific challenges and their goals. Understand why they're hiring and what they expect you to do in the role. Let's use a restaurant role as an example. On paper, the employer might list things like customer service, punctuality, and communication skills. And yes, all of those things matter. But this restaurant is known for its wine list. So wine knowledge is the real hidden priority. It's what separates the perfect candidate from the passable one. Hopefully, the employer will have spelt their priorities out clearly in the job description, but sometimes they don't. That's why, whenever possible, I recommend going a step further and getting inside knowledge. Talk to people who already know how to do the job. Reach out to someone in the industry. Ask someone who works for the company what actually makes someone successful there. Your goal is to distill all of your findings into one simple statement. My job would be to help X achieve Y by using Z skill. If you can confidently complete that sentence, then you have clarity of purpose. And that is where strong resumes really begin. Step 2 is to understand what success looks like in the role. And this is a step that I guarantee you 99% of job applicants are overlooking. Most applicants focus on aligning experience and matching keywords. They describe similar responsibilities and copy keywords and phrases used in the job description. So I don't know, like demonstrated strong wine knowledge, confidently recommending pairings to complement menu items. They're using relevant vocabulary, but they're still talking about themselves. And don't get me wrong, that's a good start, but that's only evidence that you've done the work before. It isn't evidence that you're good at that work. So how do you actually make an impact? You go back to your definition statement and ask a better question. How would success be measured in this role? For our restaurant server or sommelier, that would be maybe excellent customer feedback, uptake on wine purchases, comments and mentions in customer reviews, stuff like that. And here's the good news. Many employers tell you what they want from a successful hire. It's often right there in the job description. So read it again and look for clues about their success metrics. So the third step is just putting that all together. You match your skills to those responsibilities, and you match your achievements to those success metrics. Every bullet point in your work experience section should start with the win, the result of your actions, followed by how you made that accomplishment and which skills you applied. When you take the time to understand your target employer, what they actually need, and you meet those needs head on, your application is immediately more compelling, because an offer to help will always land better than a manifesto on how great you are, even if you're the next Da Vinci. If you want a tool that will do that for you, make sure you check out this video. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Best of luck in your job search, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.